It only takes one click to record, two to stop. Shouts out to that. Anyways, welcome back, hot dogs and donuts. It's your boy Spider Pig, aka TWP, Black Venom Thermal, right? Y'all already know what time it is. It's time for Super Saturday, which happens every Saturday for me. Whatever time it is for you, hopefully, whatever. Anyways, y'all know the replay gang. Appreciate y'all for, appreciating the Dragon Ball content that I actually put together for y'all. Did I put it together? Nah, I just put the playlist together. But y'all understand what I mean. Hell, it's a review channel. I ain't got to put in work. I review the work other people put in. Either you like my reviews or you don't. Hell, tap in or tap out. Either way, we're going to be here doing what we do because that's what we do. So let's see. We're going to get our camera flipped around, zoom it out, fit the whole thing on the screen. A little bit to that side. Bars. What up to the big homie, Mike? Appreciate you getting up, saying hi. Y'all know to go check out the big homie. He might be live on 5 of his YouTube channels because you know how we be putting in that work. Speaking of putting in that work, I'm going to hit play and then fire up my tablet. Make sure I'm in my own video watching myself, right? Right. One of these days I'm gonna have to get it to update so it can let me in the chat. But hell, I'm right here talking with you, so hell, you know what to do it is.
Who the fuck is Bro, and why the fuck are we all collectively glazing him? So if you watched the Dragon Ball event the other day, they announced a new video game. And in this teaser trailer, there was absolutely no info on the game, no gameplay, and shit, they didn't even release the name of the fucking game. But we want to know what we did see? Bro, that's it. That's what we saw, is just Bro just standing there ore farming. So now the entire Dragon Ball community has taken it upon themselves to start glazing Bro up the wazoo. And they even gave him a name. Bro's name, get this, is John Dragon Ball. And the only thing he does is keep it 1,000. But not only is he an ore farmer, no, you would be wrong. He's also the strongest Dragon Ball character in existence. Because canonically, he's beating Jiren, he has beaten Gojo, he's beaten Sasuke and Naruto, and he's even defeated Zeno. And it's just crazy to think about. This guy wasn't even announced a week ago. And now he has his own lore, his own name. He's the strongest character in all of fiction, and he always keeps it 1,000. And I don't know what Bro's training regimen is. I don't know if he does 20 sets of aura farming or whatever the fuck. But whatever he's doing, keep it up, bro, I guess. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like if you're stopping by, and if you're new to Geekdom 101, remember to subscribe and enable all notifications so that way you don't miss a single video. We discuss all things Dragon Ball here, movies, anime, manga, and even some video games. We've been here for 10 years and many more to come. I thank you for your continued support. Let's get to the video. What's up, everyone? So a few weeks ago, we did get the big announcement of the return of the Dragon Ball Super anime, with Dragon Ball Super Beerus being the first of a number of arcs being remade from the original 2015 Dragon Ball Super anime. And the big story, of course, is the upcoming Moro arc, Dragon Ball Super, the Galactic Patrol. And since then, the question has been, well, when are we going to get more information? What's coming up in Dragon Ball Super when it comes to not only the anime, but also the manga? At the Genki Damatsuri event, it was an anime event because it was basically created by Capsule Corporation Tokyo, which is Akio Iyoku's company. And if you had been on my streams and followed the videos, I was telling you guys that I was not expecting a Dragon Ball Super manga announcement.
What up, Beast Mode? Good to see you. How you doing?
I'm gonna go into a little bit more about the manga on
Appreciate
this
you coming
video,
by and saying hi.
make sure that you watch this video all the way to the end and hit the like button. It does help out the channel, and of course share it out, because we're here as always for the past almost 11 years dropping accurate, as good as it gets Dragon Ball news, as best that I can give it to you. So we'll be talking about all of that on this video. Won't take up too much of your time. So I did do a short about this, and I want to go a bit more into this. Hype talked about it. It was announced in Japan that Dragon Ball Super, Galactic Patrol, and the Beerus remake, Beerus Anime, will be part of Toei Animation's exhibition at Anime Expo. I'm sorry, Anime Japan, not Anime Expo. That's later in the year. Anime Japan 2026, which is coming up at the end of March. Now, I have seen some people. Obviously, as you guys know, Instagram and Facebook is loaded with misinformation. These pages are popping up and they're just talking all types of garbage about, I mean, you saw before the event even happened of the Vegeta movie, and it was all nonsense. And I was debunking some of that here on the channel. But when it came to the Genki Matsuri event, I told everyone to keep your expectations low. And I do that mostly because even though, like, I knew, and we all knew at that event there was going to be two big announcements, because that was the hype behind the event. Like, it was actually the worst kept secret, if you're really in a lot of these anime circles, that they were going to announce at the very least the remake. The moral arc was obviously talked about, but we've heard stuff about Super coming back now for years, like the anime. So it's always best to keep your expectations low. Now, when it comes to this event in particular, I'm letting you know now that, as far as I can see, Dragon Ball Super is only going to be at the Toei Animation exhibition booth. They're going to have an animation exhibition, probably with One Piece and maybe even something involving Digimon, although I'm not 100% certain on that. But what they're probably going to do at this event is it'll be like the poster that you see right there on your screen, this is the ones we've already seen, and the Dragon Ball Super Beerus trailer, maybe even that Hans Zimmer special piece that they showed us at the event. Also, I want to clarify some misinformation I've seen floating around. Hans Zimmer has not been confirmed as doing music for either of these two anime. So don't get it twisted. He was brought in to do the music for that special, that tribute to 40 years of Dragon Ball. But as far as we know right now, the composers for either of these two projects or any of the Dragon Ball Super upcoming projects has not been revealed publicly. It could be Sumitomo. They could bring back Naoki Sato. I don't know, but it would be something if it was Hans Zimmer, but as of right now, he is not confirmed to do that. So don't get it twisted. Yes, he did do that piece, and it would be awesome if he did do more Dragon Ball music, but that remains to be seen. So do not expect any big news coming out of Anime Japan. I'm letting you know this now. They may add something in the coming weeks, like, hey, we're going to have a new stage, but there is no stage announcement for this event. Akio, as far as I know, will not be there. So if this changes in the coming weeks, I'll drop a video updating you, but as of right now, I would not expect anything there. Now, when it comes to the Dragon Ball Super manga, I want to make it clear that the manga, although it's still Dragon Ball Super, is separate from these two projects, in the sense that while Capsule Corp Tokyo, now, Akio Yoko's company that he started, are going to be pushing forward with new video game and anime projects, and this has been talked about for a while. If you've been watching the videos, you're already caught up on some of this, but I'm about to tell you some more information. Shueisha is still in charge of the manga, and I do not know if Akio is pushing Shueisha. Like, this is something that nobody has any idea about when it comes to what's going on with Dragon Ball Super's manga. Toyotaro, did some interviews last year. The editor, Victor Uchida, said that it would not come back in 2025. Now, he didn't say 2026. He just said it would not come back in 2025. So I think we all assumed sometime this year. So I do still expect it to come back this year. If it doesn't, I would be surprised. However, the big mystery is that nobody knows what's going on. Like, I've talked to multiple leakers, multiple insiders about this. Whatever's going on with Shueisha and Toyotaro, it's being kept very much close to the chest. The final Dragon Ball Super the final Dragon Ball Super volume compiling the last few chapters is coming out through Viz, I believe, in April. And that's the one that goes all the way to chapter 104. That is not new material. That's stuff that we already had, but it's finally being compiled into a volume. So whenever the manga comes back, it'll be a fresh start. It'll be like, it'll still be Dragon Ball Super, but it'll be like, when we start with chapter 105, it'll be a new volume, And so if you're collecting these, if you're collecting the manga volumes, it'll be reset there. So it's a difficult situation because we really don't have a clue about what's going on, and there's no clues given to us from Japan. I have heard some people speculate. Now, I want to be very careful when I say this. There's speculation about possibly on Goku Day, May the 9th. I don't want to say anything about that for certain. I know that a lot of folks think that that's a big day, and it is a big day, but if you look back historically, the only big announcement we've actually gotten on Goku Day, right, if you think back to like the previous years, was the announcement of what would eventually be known as Dragon Ball Super Hero, and that was in 2021. They announced there was going to be a new Dragon Ball movie, Dragon Ball Super movie, with Toriyama involved on Goku Day in 2021. That was on the official Dragon Ball website, and that was the only time we've gotten an announcement, and that's anime related. So the manga's different. Obviously, the website, the Dragon Ball Super, or the Dragon Ball official website, does have tons of manga coverage. Victor Uchida is there. He has the weekly Dragon Ball news show. That's likely where the announcement will be, either there or in the pages of Jump magazine, whether it be V-Jump or Weekly Shonen Jump. I am not expecting an announcement to be like a big event, even though I'm sure it will be for those of us wondering where the story's going to go next. At this point, I don't know about if I'm excited. I'm just more curious about what the heck is going on, and nobody seems to know because the Shueisha stuff is tippy top,
Sapphire in the
top
hole.
secret. So if we get any more information, I will obviously update you.
Got you one road.
We've got
Hopefully
a lot of
you
good
get
streams
one.
coming up on the channel, and a very important video coming up on the 26th of February about the importance of watching all of Dragon Ball. So look forward to that. In the meantime, check out the videos on your screen right now so you catch up to the news. Take care of yourself and your families. I wish you the best, and I'll see you guys real soon. Catch you on the streams, hopefully. See you then.
And shouts out to Geekdom. Like he said, he does make sure he has some references and checks them right. Yeah.
Do you feel that energy? If I didn't know better, I'd say that was my dad. But that's crazy.
It is Goku. I have no idea how, but it's definitely your father. It's certain.
That can't be Goku. Saiyan powers are not strong enough to be felt this far away. Well, it is. And I don't think that's a good thing. And this is my favorite level. I call it Super Saiyan 3. Sorry to keep you waiting. It takes a while to get to.
No, it don't, Goku. Your ass just took all day because you was trying to build some time. I like this little animation right here. Shout out to Akira 3. Of course, he had 2 videos this week.
So we've
Shouts
got
out
an
to Danny.
update from the world of Dragon Ball. Before we get into it, I want to give a quick plug. Tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Super Magic Show, I will be joined by NFL All-Star Mike Daniels from the National Football League. We're going to be talking about 30 years of the Dragon Ball Z dub. This year is the 30-year anniversary of the original Dragon Ball Z dub from 1996 into like the late 90s and 2000s. We're going to go into the pros and the cons of that dub. this evening, tonight at 10 p.m., Mike Daniels from the NFL will be here with me. Join me. Don't miss out on that one. And you can ask him questions in the chat. Now, let's talk about this. The February issue of V-Jump magazine, it's listed as the May issue, but it's the February issue because it's always a couple months early, has come out in Japan, and we have an update on Dragon Ball Super and a clue about where things seem to be going for both the anime and the manga here on this video. This is going to be a follow-up to the video I did a couple days ago where I basically told y'all kind of like answering questions about, you know, where the manga is and what's going to happen with the anime. I tried to fit it all into that video, but now we have a quick update. Now, the first thing I want to get to is what you see on your screen right here. I've got some images here. Credit to DBS Hype for the scans. This right here, as you can see, says Dragon Ball World Super News from V-Jump. Now, this is a new section of V-Jump that's debuting this month that I believe is going to be an ongoing section for the next few months or maybe even years, where V-Jump magazine is going to be providing updates for Dragon Ball projects. Now, every month, they've already sort of done this with the video games. There's always something in there about Xenoverse or, you know, Sparking Zero and definitely Dokkan and Legends. But now, because we have more stuff coming out that is media related, they're going to lump it all into these few pages. So I'm going to go over these pages with you guys today. And as you can see here on your screen, it talks about all of the non-video game stuff first and then the video game stuff, which I don't really cover a lot of that on this channel. It's not really a Dokkan Legends channel, so I usually don't get into that. I'm here to mostly focus on the Dragon Ball Super Beerus and Dragon Ball Super The Galactic Patrol. And we do have an update for that coming in this video. I got a Moro update for you guys. So the magazine here is promoting for the first time the upcoming Dragon Ball Super Beerus remake of the original. It's not really a remake of Battle of Gods. It's a remake of a remake of a remake. Okay, it's complicated, but basically it's an enhanced version of the anime version of Battle of Gods. I am not sure if they're going to be using movie clips for it. I kind of hope they do, because you know, there's that Sheeta cut that looks so great, but they may not, because it seems like with this version, they're going to eliminate Goku absorbing God into Super Saiyan, like what he did in the original Battle of Gods, when he, you know, that infamous part where he breaks all the rocks and him and Beerus fly out of the underground cavern and he's in Super Saiyan. I think he's going to stay with God in this version. Obviously, the big question is he going to be using Super Saiyan 4? That is probably the most asked question I have gotten, and I do not have an answer for you yet. I do not know, as of right now, if he's for sure going to be using Super Saiyan 4. A lot of folks believe that a part of this remake happening is to tie it back into Daima, and I certainly hope that is the case. That way these debates about canon this, canon that, and do they fit could actually come to an end. Even though I don't think those debates are ever going to end up.
See, that's the good thing about knowing how I feel about all of that. For those that are new, you don't know how I feel about it. It's like watching the Saw franchise at this point. At any point in time, they could go back in time and show you something that they didn't show you. So, and then it's going to be up to them to make it make sense when they are retelling the new story, right? Right. That's why when Saw 7 makes no sense, because it was before a lot of shit. Or when Saw 8 makes no sense because it's behind a lot of shit. Shit that you haven't even seen happen yet. You're like, well, what's going on with this? It seems kind of out of line. Yeah, they don't tell a linear story because it's Dragon Ball.
Among certain fan circles, I certainly hope so. And I was going to tell you this update too that I forgot to say in my video the other day, so I very much apologize for not putting that in. I looked at my notes and I was like, damn. So they are going to really fix that Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Beerus fight. Actually, the entire Goku versus Beerus fight on Kai's planet. That's going to get completely overhauled. They've enhanced a couple of the shots, but a lot of it's going to be new, and that's exciting. So that's a good update on that. Now, let's talk about, this is, of course, on the next page, the poster upcoming this fall. I can tell you that, and this is not in the article, this is information I've gathered, the likelihood is going to be October. Just like how Daima was in October, October is going to be when they're going to drop Dragon Ball Super Beerus, when it's going to come out. And this will be followed immediately by the Golden Frieza arc. I do not believe there's a break in between Beerus and Frieza. I cannot comment on the remainder, although I have been told, and I want to make this clear to you, this is not double sourced. So don't go around saying that I broke this story. This is not double sourced. This is just one source has said that the Super remake is going to run from now all the way through tomorrow. So it's going to be basically Beerus, then Frieza, then Universe 6, all in one continuous show. So no breaks, except for like New Year's Eve specials. And, you know, Japan always has like a New Year's special where Dragon Ball or whatever is preempted. It happened with Daima as well. That's different. But week to week, there's going to be the Super remake will run all the way through the Tournament of Power in tomorrow. So that is not double source, though. Letting you know that now. So if that ends up not being the case, I don't want you to say that I, got bad information. I'm letting you know now I have not been able to double source that. So I'm going to classify that as a rumor until we get more information. So when I get it double sourced, I'll do an update video or even a stream. And then this is the new information here, which I'm so happy about. A lot of folks were happy about it. And this is the reveal of Dragon Ball Super, the Galactic Patrol, the newest arc. I've seen some people mistakenly say it's going to take 3 years for this to come out. It is not. This is scheduled to come out either at the tail end or immediately following the Dragon Ball Super remake. So it's not going to be at the latest. It'll be early 2028. At the earliest 2027. I'm confident, very confident in that. Obviously, right now we don't have the full episode count for the Super remake, but nevertheless, this is what's going on. Now, here we have the introduction of Moro. So, V-Jump readers already know who Moro is because Dragon Ball Super ran in V-Jump. But they're kind of reminding people here, it says in that little bracket, this is Moro as drawn by Toyotaro Sensei, revealed during the manga serialization. Now, that has led to a lot of people being really happy because, hey, Toyotaro was finally credited. I know a lot of folks were upset about that. Like, why is Toriyama's name on this? And I want to make some things clear here about this, about Moro. Actually, it might be this part right here. So the Moro arc was written by Toyotaro, but the character of Moro, the Galactic Prisoner, was a Toriyama creation. This goes back to interviews that we covered here on the channel going back 5 years. Now, you can go back and find those videos if you want. I think the name of the video is Dragon Ball Super, the Moro arc, Toriyama is in. I believe that's the name of the video. You don't have to go back if you don't want to. I'm giving you the update here, or the reminder here, and we covered the fact that Toriyama came up with Moro, and he obviously did corrections for Toyotaro's manga, but Toyotaro was the one writing the Moro story. So
what up, CB? Good to see you. How you doing?
The artist and
I'm gonna go check out Big Bro's channel if y'all new around here.
Right here, but not
appreciate you stopping by and saying hi.
The creator of the arc, and that I know some folks are gonna be mad about that, and I get it. It should be Toriyama and Toyotaro. Toriyama will always get credit above Toyotaro. It's just legendary status, man. Like, the reality is Toyotaro wouldn't even be doing Super if Toriyama had not created Dragon Ball to begin with. However, I still think
managed to get some leg day exercises in on Thursday.
Something interesting
so,
about
I'm still feeling that today.
They have not included, and they haven't, they have not included a Toriyama concept art for Moro, which tells me one of two things. They're either holding back on that for later, which they it's not like it's the first time they've done that. Let's not forget that Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima were revealed at the Genki Damatsuri event. Those are Toriyama art pieces from 2022. So there's a lot of Toriyama stuff that Akio and Shueisha have that has not gone public yet. So there may be a Toriyama version of Moro out there. It's probably going to look very similar to this one, or it could also be that Toriyama just gave Toyotaro the instructions and the idea, and Toyotaro sort of created the character. This character is actually based on a character from not just Baphomet, but also from a Castlevania villain who's also based on Baphomet. I'm going to be doing a video very soon called Who is Moro? And that video is going to be for all the people who did not read the manga. Without going into big spoilers, I'm going to go into his backstory and kind of give you a little rundown without going...
I like how he said for the people that are refusing to read the manga. I mean, come on now. If you only watch the anime, I could appreciate that. But damn, I mean, once the anime was done, what y'all been doing? Y'all just was hearing people talking about, oh, have you read the manga? No, well, you're missing a lot, Bucko, because hell, they started the Tournament of Power. The manga done had two completely new runs after that. Shouts out to Moro and then Granola. Hell, it's finna, get lit around this. We're talking about some Moro. Anyways.
Into the entire story of Moro for people who are coming back who have not read the manga, so look forward to that. All right, that way you kind of know what to expect without knowing everything. So either that, or like I said, this is Toyotaro's design, but Toriyama made tweaks to it. Okay, either way, it also says he's a terrifying guy who absorbs energy from planets. Now that is we already knew that, and it actually has a picture of one of the Dragon Ball Super volumes here of the Moro arc with mirrors. So, again, V-Jump readers kind of already know that. It's already not new, not anything big. And then this down here is covering the 40th anniversary video that aired in the Genki Da Matsuri event, and Hans Zimmer being the composer of it. Like I said in my video 2 days ago, this is all he's done. Like, this is, as of right now, there's no word at all if he's going to be doing the music for either of these Beerus or the remake or the Moro stuff. So the last thing I want to tell you is, now that this new section has been added to V-Jump, I'm about 90% certain that the announcement of the return of the manga is going to be in this section. Every month, as Dragon Ball announces new stuff, whether it be video game stuff, whether it be Age 1000, whether it be Beerus, the Frieza, the Golden Frieza arc is going to be announced in the coming months. I mean, it has to be. It has to be announced in the coming months. I doubt they would wait till the last minute to announce it. I could see them announcing it as early as May or June. And again, that's just me guessing. That's not a leak or anything. But I will tell you that the announcement of the return of the manga will likely happen here, or it'll happen on Victory Uchita's stream. Either way, when it does, I'll be here to cover it. So that, I think that's good news that we actually have this new section to go into the news from now forward. So every month we can expect them to
And then
update
the
it
good
with
thing
something.
is whenever
If
he
they-
covers
if
it,
all they do is
I'll
update
cover it
the
on
video
Super
game stuff,
Saturday.
I
So
probably
you know how
won't
we do.
cover it, but if they do more,
Yeah,
then
we ain't gotta be
we will,
live at some
obviously,
random time.
talk
Nah, I'm
about
gonna
it.
stay
If
on
there's-
schedule.
If it's just like Legends and Dokkan stuff, that's not really what my channel does, even though I will say I do love the new Dokkan animations. They look great. But if it's anything anime related or manga related or movie related, that's what we mostly focus on here on this channel. Anyways, y'all have a good one. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you tonight.
Huh? That face. He's a spitting image of Goku. Poor thing. He's clearly that monkey's offspring. And that one looks familiar too somehow. I've seen him before, but where? Ah!
Yeah, this is our transition back into our video topic, right?
I leave this world for a
Right.
while and those stupid creatures start procreating left and right. It's a damn springtime for monkey.
Good old Lord Frieza.
find yourself on the Unrelent Gaming channel. How fortunate for you. I, Lord Freezer, will spare your life as long as you subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon for tons of exclusive content, to early access media, and much more. Do it now, or else.
Now, although this was most certainly a very unexpected surprise to watch unfold, especially when considering on how strong the boys have gotten since the last time I've seen them, outside of their journey for greater forms of power, it would appear as though that both Zalama and the Grand Minister also have their hands full with what it is that they plan on carrying out within the Omniverse.
As our story now continues, following the initial events of the Grand Priest having to seek out Zalama, with both the Grand Priest and Zalama now shown having to speak within Zalama's palace, which it was only just upon with the Grand Priest being shown having to further question the overall situation involving this strange anomaly that both he and Zalama had been looking for, where the Grand Priest then went on to quickly respond, the disappearance itself is what troubles me the most about this strange anomaly, because while many entities can simply just go and hide their presence from being detected, there are far fewer and in many rare cases exceptional situations with only those who are of my ranking or above, such as that of the Omni Kings themselves, who can go about by having to erase the evidence that they were ever even present as quickly as this anomaly had appeared, and that's what puzzles me the most, because for some strange reason it felt deliberate, the Grand Priest says, and if an unknown force can just go and appear and then suddenly nullify its traces with such precision, we must go and ask the uncomfortable question, which is, are we dealing with a power that sits above the ordinary hierarchies that we monitor, the Grand Priest questions, with such examples having to be that above the Kaioshins, destroyers, and perhaps even above what the angels have been tasked to oversee, because if that is the case, the Grand Priest continues, then what do you suggest for your plan of action to be, Lord Zalama? With Zalama responding, now while it is still quite unknown as to what we could possibly go and be dealing with here, for the time being, I'm going to go and send 3 of my top cosmic guardians to go and locate and destroy the anomaly if the results prove to be a hostile one upon having to go and encounter it, Zalama says. As it was only within these very moments now, with the Grand Priest having to be shown turning his back and having to notice both of the Cosmic Guardians standing in front of the doorway, was when the Cosmic Guardians went on to then quickly respond, "It is always and forever an honor to be within your service along with your presence, Venerable Minister, as we will go and ensure that whatever mission we are given, that we are to go and succeed in doing what is needed and required of us to go and do, and so we await your orders when you are both ready," with the Grand Priest responding, "Now although it has been a very long time since I had last seen the two of you, it is good to know that you are both ready and willing to go and carry this task out for us the moment we are able to go and track it down, and so the feeling here between us is mutual, Guardians," with Zalama responding, "Now from what I'm able to go and quickly gather, it may appear as though what we are looking for could in fact actually be an entity who can also wield incredible levels of magic, because if this just so happens to in fact be true," Zalama adds, "then we might in fact be dealing with something that is both far stronger and far wiser than both you and I want to go and give it credit for, because in all my time as being both the creator of the Super Dragon Balls and the gatekeeper of the very Omniverse itself, I had never had this much trouble in going and finding the location of any known anomaly, which is why the situation itself is quite the unique one, because never was I ever able to not go and find someone or something within the Omniverse that I had been looking for, with this being the very first time that it's happened," Zalama says, "and since it's hard to go and tell on where the source of this energy signature will be due to its very nature of how it appears to be moving all throughout the Omniverse, and I do believe that there in fact might be a way to actually go and locate this anomaly without having to go and give away our position and having them know that we are on its trail, but it's hard to go and get a good reading on where it might be, Zalama continues, since the vastness of the Omniverse itself stretches far beyond just one or two multiverse systems, but rather an endless number of them, which are filled with alternate timelines and events that differ from the very one that we currently exist within. But what I will go on to say is that I just need about a few more minutes here so that I am able to go and see on if the source behind what we are looking for is presently active within the Omniverse somewhere, because if I'm able to go and use my magic along with my knowledge to go and attempt to try to track it down, then... Wait a minute now, I think I found it, Zalama then went on to continue. Yes, I'm sure of it, for it would only now appear as though whatever this is just so happens to be moving within the Omniverse and had stopped in a reality known as timeline number 324 within Universe 7, but even now, while I can't go and make out as to what the source of its energy is actually made of, it appears to be something powerful if it's able to go and move freely throughout the Omniverse like this, with the Grand Priest responding, how very interesting, but could this then be a hostile force as I had suspected when given its unusual movement patterns? As I only say that to say this because if that is the case, then we are to go and act now while there is still time, Lord Zalama, and for the time being the Grand Priest continues, since I cannot go and simply leave the Omni King's side at the moment. Of course, given with their upcoming Omniversal tournament on the horizon, your warriors are to go and be given approval by me to go and do what they must if needed, as we cannot go and run the risk of leaving this situation unattended, with Zalama responding, understood, Grand Minister. And so in the meantime, while you go and do what is needed in order to go and ensure that this upcoming tournament is to go without a hitch, then I will go and take it from here and inform you with what happens after we get our answers to the questions that we have been asking. For this very situation and dilemma itself cannot go unchecked, and so Cosmic Guardians, listen carefully, because what I'm about to go and tell you requires for your utmost attention, as it would now seem as though the anomaly is moving and moving very fast, and not simply by drifting or wandering about, Zalama continues, but it rather appears to be traveling with intent and with purpose, vanishing and reappearing in between the very cracks of the Omniverse itself, which that alone tells me that we aren't dealing with any ordinary situation here. And since that is the case here between us, you are to go and join Nebulous on your mission into the Omniverse, as your orders are to go and track this anomaly down with the coordinates that I will be providing you upon your exit, for you are now hereby also given authorization by the Grand Minister himself to go and eradicate this anomaly in case of aggression, but do be sure to remember that identification comes first with confirmation coming in second, so that way we could be able to know as to what it is that we are dealing with here, and if such dealings are to go and result in there having to be hostility, then you are to simply go and use lethal force to exterminate the problem, and so now go. And if by some miracle the three of you are able to go and find yourselves in having to be completely outmatched while you're out there, then your duty is to go and report back to me and the Grand Priest immediately, Zalama continues, because if this goes and proves to be a worst case scenario, and if this anomaly is shown in having some kind of a great and divine origin, then the three of you are to go and return to me at once, Zalama says. And since the Grand Priest cannot go and accompany you, since he is bound by his responsibility of looking after the Omni King, Zalama continues, he cannot go and leave their side unless he is given permission to go and do so, which ultimately means that the three of you will be going and moving throughout the Omniverse and its infinite expansion of worlds and realms alone, Zalama says. So now hurry and go and get a move on them before they are to go and leave the location that I had given you, and so good luck. To which all the while, in the meantime, when then having to venture on back onto the Supreme Kai homeworld, it would only now appear as though both Goten and Trunks seem to be very exhausted by having to just sit there and do nothing all day, as Trunks went on to then quickly respond, Goten, we've been at this for hours and we're still just sitting here while he reads that stupid magazine of his, and I can't take it anymore. I'm so hungry and I'm so tired that there's no way that there's more to this than what we've already been doing this entire time, right? I mean, there just can't be. With Goten responding, yeah, but I'm really not sure on how much longer we'll need to just go and sit here and do this, and I'm just about ready to crash out, but I mean, surely there can't be that much that's left, right? Hey, Elder Kai, Goten says, how much longer do we have to go and continue to sit here like this without having us go and move a muscle? Because, well, we're starting to grow really tired here, and so how much longer is this going to take? With the Elder Kai responding, oh yeah, now that's good. Nice and big. Well, actually, come to think of it, I'd say that's just about right. So yes, the two of you can go and get up now because the process has been finished in awakening your full potential. With a shocked Goten and Trunks having to look on over with Trunks responding, wait, are you serious? So you just had us sitting there just waiting around for hours and hours and hours when this whole time the process had already been finished a long time ago? But when were you even going to go and tell us that it was done? Trunks questions. So please tell me you're kidding. With the Elder Kai responding, well, after getting this magazine that Piccolo had brought me, I went and lost track of time while I was reading this, but the process is complete and your powers should be far more defined now. And of course, with the two of you already wielding God power as it stands, just like your fathers, the Elder Kai continues, then once you go and take your leave, you may go and test this out for yourselves the very moment that you are both locked in battle. With an irritated Trunks having to then respond, you've got to be kidding me here. Seriously, old man? Is this some kind of a joke here or something? Because this isn't funny, Trunks shouts, as we could have instead been furthering our training and powers as Super Saiyan gods, and now that we have wasted the entire day here, what in the world are we supposed to go and do now? What are you two doing? Piccolo then suddenly went on to then cut in by shouting, just because the Elder Kai had said that this is over doesn't mean that I said that we were finished here, because the two of you aren't out of the woods with me here just yet, and so go and get ready because you still have a very long way to go before this is truly over. With Goten looking on over towards Trunks by then responding, hey Trunks, what do you say we go and give this a try just like my brother once did, except let's go and try to enter into our god levels only by using the full force of our ultimate potential and having to now be awakened in order for us to go and see on what the difference between our powers is when compared to before. With Trunks responding, right, and so then let's go and
see, I like how they're well, Alex, I like how he's making sure the point's known. Yeah, the younger hybrids are able to catch up, but the older ones still have more experience and training. So that's why they'll usually get shit first or be able to catch up to them little guys. Because, oh, y'all got a new transformation? Like when Gohan hit Super Saiyan 2. Next thing you know, Goku and Vegeta's next arc, they right back with it. So that's what you would be able to expect. The little guys will be useful if necessary. Like, oh, Trunks and Goten had to come in. Them niggas, well, unless Goku and Vegeta fuse, but that'll be the things that they stay away from because, you know, they don't actually go into too many fusion arcs. You try to say that type of ish for movies, which was indicated in Broly. Yeah, you can expect to see the fusions. They'll be alive in the, you know, the movies mostly because that's what they was trying to tell us. Moving forward, hey, if y'all ain't paying attention, y'all missing one hell of a show, right?
into Super Saiyan God, and once we feel as though we are nearing its ceiling, then that's when we'll go and unleash everything alongside with it, and we'll see on what the results will be. To which, as Goten and Trunks were then shown and having to now prepare themselves and entering into their god forms, was when the Elder Kai went on to then quickly respond, well, great, and so now that the two of you have gotten exactly what you came here to look for, do be sure to go and say hello to your fathers from me while I go and finish reading this, because it's been a very long time since, wait, no, not here, the Elder Kai shouts. What are you doing? No, not this again. Just wait a darn minute. But it was already too late, because with both Goten and Trunks now being shown having to ascend into their Super Saiyan God levels whilst having their ultimate power awaken, was when the Supreme Kai went on to then quickly respond, goodness, what an enormous level of power that these two appear to be displaying out there, because while I had already known that they were as strong as they were when having to first come here after having you explain to me on how they were able to obtain the power of Super Saiyan God, at the same time to go and think that Goku and Vegeta's youngest sons would even come this far is remarkable on its very own. But how stable will this newly forged power actually be when they unleash it is the real question here, and with the Elder Kai now at a safe enough distance, surely you don't assume that they'll be able to somehow go and reach their father's level of power if this ends up continuing, right? Which I only go on to ask this question because of what it is that I am able to go and see from them, for the sky is the limit in where they could end up being if they were to go and do what Goku and Vegeta were shown in having to do, but I just can't believe on what it is that I'm seeing out there with Piccolo responding. When you really stop to look at it, Goten and Trunks were born with a system that already knows how to chase the impossible, because I'll just go ahead and say this bluntly, for it would have been even stranger if they didn't go and reach something like this eventually, which is why I am glad that they at least got their acts together. But nevertheless, I was hoping that they would one day go and take such matters as seriously as they are into evolving like this, but just because they have now reached new levels of power, Piccolo adds, does it only now mean that their training has fully now been completed? Because this is far from over whether they realize it or not, with the Supreme Kai responding, "Wow, what overwhelming power, and to think that even the youngest of them are now as strong as they are is just outstanding," with Piccolo responding, "Remember this moment, Supreme Kai, because one day when the next disaster strikes and everyone is scrambling in case Goku and Vegeta aren't around, then you are going to look at these two and realize that you aren't just seeing children anymore, but instead they are now warriors who have been forged properly and being the best version of themselves that they could go and possibly be." Because what the Elder Kai had went and done wasn't simply in having to go and awaken their dormant potential the way that he did with Gohan, Piccolo says, but instead it interlocked their awakened potential with their Super Saiyan God power in a way that I've never seen before, and dare I even say, to go and allow for them to enter into a completely different category that not even Goku and Vegeta were able to go and fully succeed in doing when using their Super Saiyan God forms, which is why I am proud of them, but not because they simply had acquired a new level of power, Piccolo adds, but because it's the kind of power that they have gained which will now make them even more relevant in fights that used to be completely out of their reach, and now that they have it, I intend on having to go and test the fruit of their powers for the fullest extent that their bodies will go and allow for it, because now that you are also made very well aware of this upcoming Omniversal tournament, Piccolo says, my plan is to have these two go and make it as far as they possibly can within this tournament, instead of having them go and lose very early on, and so we will see. But for now, Piccolo says, let's just go and having to now call these God variants of theirs as Ultimate Super Saiyan God. Wow, just look at us, Goten. We're stronger than I ever could have thought that we'd ever be, and just look at that hair and those red eyes. It's like we're completely different people now, and so we did it. With the Supreme Kai looking on over towards Piccolo by then responding, Ultimate Super Saiyan God, you say? How truly remarkable for the youngest sons of Goku and Vegeta to achieve. But may I ask as to what you are planning on doing here, Piccolo? Because I don't like that look that I see within your eyes right now, with Piccolo then being shown having to respond. Now, I know that this may not seem like a good enough time and all, but you might want to go and get the Elder Kai to a safe enough distance, because things are about...
So now this is where they remind you that Orange Piccolo is supposed to be above Jiren, which was above Super Saiyan God Blue. So yeah, he'll be able to fight them two together and fused, supposedly, because they only in God. Now let's see what the ultimate level with the God gonna try to jump that up, skip them up a little bit. Like, so then when they get to Blue, where the fuck they gonna be? Because the only reason that God's considered weak is because when they first learn to use it, they're still not controlling their ki and keeping it all within their body, which is the secret to God ki. It's unlimited if you're not letting it out of your body, meaning you're not just going with a key RF shows and farming and stuff like that. You just keep all your energy in your body, although your hair and your eyes done transform. Yeah, go with the transformation, but then you go with the immediate, wrap all that up, put the little lid on the bottle, right? Yeah. Shake up that can of soda, but never open it. Just shake it up. What happened is pressure.
To get a little crazy out here, and so you just might want to go and help take him away from where the boys are, to which as the Elder Kai was then shown screaming at Goten and Trunks was when the Elder Kai then went on to quickly shout, "What is wrong with you people? It's every single time with you Saiyans! Do you not have any respect for your elders? Are you even listening to me? I'm talking to you!" With Jin being shown having to rush on over by then telling the Elder Kai, "I'm sorry for the sudden panic here, Ancestor, but we've got to go and get to safety before they end up fighting." But then they will distance, with Piccolo now being shown having to unleash the fruits of his orange form right before Goten and Trunks, just as Shin was taking the Elder Kai to safety, was when Goten then went on to quickly respond. Whoa, hey, what do you think has gotten into Piccolo now all of a sudden that it warrants in having him go all out like this? Do you think that it could be what I think that it might, with Trunks responding, well, if he's already looking to go and jump into using that orange form of his, then I think that you and I both know exactly what it is that Piccolo is about to go and want to do here, Goten. And so
He's trying to put that a demonstration because he's reminding y'all, motherfuckers is tough. Y'all gonna have to be ready.
Was when Piccolo went on to then quickly respond. Alright, enough standing around, because this is where I want for the two of you to really go and pay attention, because from this moment onwards until I go and deem it to be necessary for us to go and conclude, you are both going to come at me as I will be going and taking you both head on at once, and I don't expect for you to go and complain about it either. But before we begin, I just want for the two of you to remember this, Orange Piccolo says, for I am going to go and test to see the full extent of your newly discovered powers, which means that you are to go and hold nothing back here against me, as I want for you both to go and attack me at the same time, 2-on-1, Piccolo says, which also means that you are only to go and fight me as you are without the need of having to go and use your fusion, unless you absolutely believe that it is necessary for you to go and win. Do you understand? Then since you have both went and have asked for this to be the case here between us, after somehow going and convincing your fathers to go and enter within this upcoming Omniversal event, then you will go on to fight me here and now, because I want to go and see on where you both currently...
See Piccolo trying to have them running around like he had Gohan running around. The boy eye was lumped up for like half the fucking training arc. Gohan, why your eye like that? You know what I mean? Why does it look like that? Editor, go back and put a clip of Gohan face in the corner. Although we don't have an editor, you know, if you'd like to be that guy, let me know. Hey, shit.
stand when compared to my strongest level of power, seeing as to how I will also be looking to go and be a part of this upcoming tournament as well. And so now go and get ready, because I'm not looking to go and take things easy on you. To which it was only within these very moments now, with Ultimate Super Saiyan God Goten and Ultimate Super Saiyan God Trunks being shown getting into fighting position, was when Goten went on to then quickly respond, well, now that we know that Piccolo means business here, how are we going to go and approach him? Because we still have a lot to learn from these newly unlocked powers of ours, and so we can't afford to go and make any mistakes while we're out there, Trunks. With Trunks responding, then I'll start and go in first, but I need for you to go and stick by my side and follow me through the moment you go and see that he does anything to go and freeze my momentum. But alright then, Piccolo, Trunks shouts. Here we come, and so now let's just see on what you're truly made of in that orange form of yours, Piccolo. And I already figured that you'd go and be the first to try to attack me when considering on who your father is, but that was actually pretty good when compared to what I've seen from you before, but it won't be enough. Turn it, you went and got lucky when you had moved in to go and block my attack just now, but isn't that what you had wanted to go and see from us, Trunks questions? Because I'm just going and getting started here against you, Piccolo, and so how's about it? With Piccolo responding, well, as good as you may have gotten, I specifically instructed for you both to go and attack me, because as strong as you are, attacking me alone isn't going to work. But then, it was suddenly from out of nowhere with Ultimate Super Saiyan God Goten being shown quickly.
I said both of y'all come at me.
To strike down Orange Piccolo, with Piccolo being shown grabbing onto Goten's strike, was when Piccolo then went on to quickly continue. Good, there you both go. Now that's more like it. And while the two of you are far stronger than I ever could have imagined for you both to be when considering on how lazy you have both grown throughout the years, this isn't going to cut it, because I require more, Piccolo says. And while the two of you may in fact be far more powerful than you ever could have dreamt in having to ever go and become, Piccolo continues, that still doesn't change the fact that you are both still very far away from where you ought to go and be, and so you better start trying here. Otherwise, the two of you are in for a very long day if you expect for this to be as impressive enough to go and get you by. And so now remember what I said. But it was only within these very moments now, as both Ultimate Super Saiyan God Trunks and Ultimate Super Saiyan God Goten were shown having to drive Piccolo back, was when Trunks went on to then quickly respond, yeah, then what do you say we go and turn things up a notch here and go and give Piccolo exactly what he is asking for, because we're only just getting started here. Right, Goten? That's right, Goten responds. And now that we are at our absolute strongest, once we start to go and get the hang of having to go and use our newly unlocked powers better and better, that's when you'll go and be turned into a believer, Piccolo. Enough, as you aren't children anymore, and so I demand for you to go and take this far more seriously if the two of you know what's good for you. Piccolo went on to then push Goten and Trunks by responding. So now quit wasting my time and hurry it up and come at me by using everything you have while you can. To which, as Goten and Trunks were then shown doing exactly that, it was only just as the boys were now beginning to attack Piccolo at the same time together was when Piccolo went on to then quickly respond, yes, that's more like it. And so now go and use that aggression of yours to go and fuel your focus in fighting me as one without the need of having to go and join bodies just yet in case you deem for fusion to be needed, Piccolo continues. But despite it having to be as strong as you both now currently are, Piccolo adds, I am still that much stronger than the two of you, and so you'll need to go and fight and attack me as one without the need of having to go and come together just yet. But what I will go on to say is that this in fact was certainly a pleasant surprise with all things considered here. And while you are certainly not as strong as either one of your fathers, including even Gohan when having to go and use that beast form of his, if the two of you continue to go and keep this up the way you are, then I have no doubt that you will come to rival them in power if you stay as consistent as you currently are, which is exactly on why I intend on having to go and teach you both the hard way, just like the others, as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Legacy of the Omniverse, the official top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse sequel, manga chapter number 19 special, then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something very important with our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing. Because not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the manga content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way that range from a variety of different things, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link everything down within the description box below and pinned comment section as well. Now, I will go as far as to say that although I am quite surprised to see both Goten and Trunks elevate themselves into reaching new levels of power that not even their fathers were previously able to go and discover all on their very own, it would seem as though the boys aren't the only ones who are preparing for what lies in wait ahead, because with Zalama and the Grand Minister having to now set their sights in finally attempting to go and get down to the bottom of whatever this anomaly they were tracking happens to be, assuming they are to do this with succession after sending out the Cosmic Knights to have them go and search for their precise location, you do not want to go and miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video, and before you leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as also subscribing to Unreal Int Gaming's channel for tons of new Dragon Ball content. So with that, we thank you all so much for watching, as we'll be seeing you all again for the next one.
Now, I know it might be weird, maybe even a little bit sus, but just trust me, okay? Just shove it in your mouth, Catman.
Say what now? I will do no such thing, Talking Bugman, but what I will do is encourage you all to subscribe to Unrelent Gaming for the latest Dragon Ball content. And while you're at it, make sure to like the video. Also, don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon community for more exclusive content, early access, and much, much more. Do it now, or I'll destroy your planet, along with every taco.
Hey, don't just waste the goddamn thing. Pass it here.
Yeah, like I said, it's good to let you see what these kids can do, right? That's the one good thing about Dragon Ball. It's like the Goku show, but it's not just Goku. There's a lot of shit going on, right? Yeah, a story for everybody. That's why they keep having kids, so therefore you ain't got to see just a kid Goku. It ain't just about Kid Goku. You can see some other people have kids, and then that's where you can keep your kid audience at, right?
Oh, this is my favorite exchange
The time machine's a little imprecise in terms of hours, and what the hell is that thing?
Trunks, what are you doing here?
Ha!
That's a girl's name.
Wait, isn't that the name of your kid?
What, are you trying to imply that this wannabe Super Saiyan from the future is my son?
Well, I guess that cat's out of the bag. But seriously, what is that?
That's the android.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, I am.
You stay out of this.
Wait, so you're saying that that's not the android that kills us?
No, I don't even.
But you said 2 androids, right?
And we've been fighting too.
Yes, I said 2, but that's not one of them.
Why didn't you tell us what they looked like then?
I only ever met the 2.
Well, look at that. So did we.
Hey guys!
And now the woman's here.
Oh no!
Did she bring me?
And there's my door.
Out of all of season 3, I get so excited when that whole scene comes up because I'm like, wow, I had so much fun writing that, so much fun editing it, and I always enjoyed the back and forth of yes it is, no it's not, that's not them.
Yes, I am. You stay out of this.
Oh man, shout out to Team 4-Star, right? Gohan was still trying to hang on. Still trying, guys. Still trying. Soon you get guapped up.
Now that felt like a Piccolo technique. I really didn't think the special beam cannon packed that much of a punch. But maybe it's just that much stronger now that it's coming through me. What do you think of that? Are you even awake? You're letting them down again. The greatest powers in the universe. And I'll use them all to kill you.
How do you expect me to know?
Whoa, what the heck is that thing? Gohan, get out of the way! Don't touch him!
That was a nice ass blast. Gohan, get up. He's already struggling. Somebody throw that boy a 1-up. Shout out to the big homie for this beat, man. Y'all know we appreciate that. Go check him out at DJ Is. That's at DJIZZ. Yeah.
Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bedroom, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light.
Y'all already know y'all gonna catch me right back on TWP here at 10 Central Time for those that aren't in the Central District of the United States. Shout out to whoever's watching on the replay, though. Appreciate you for making it this far in the video. Comment, engage, and keep me in your algorithm if you like videos like these and want to see them, right? Right. You know, because if you ain't making content and reviewing this, I'll do it for you, right? Put it all together. But you know what I think was valid Dragon Ball for the week, right? Zero AI, right? Yeah, why are you always all using AI? Some people got to use AI. Hell, we actually know people that create stuff themselves, or at least take the stuff that they would have put in Chat GTP and made it work. Yeah.
Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door.
I'm not sure if this video is gonna get banned, so we'll see if they say something at the end of this one, because we ain't go too far into it, right? Y'all know how they be trying to be on my heels. Anyways, I'll see y'all. Hit the buy me a coffee link or the Rumble link in the description.